you're also using AI to help negotiate. How in the world does that work?
So that's way that like we're getting into a whole other realm of techiness, right? It's like that's real nerdy stuff right there. But when you're not super nerdy, you go off and you find other people who created those kinds of systems like I have. So we created WholeTek, and WholeTek is a CRM first, but that CRM comes with automations and AI integrations that help you process a deal flow through the correct. So it's going to be a deal with an agent, and it's going to go from when you upload the property through the entire negotiation process.
Welcome to another episode of the Wholesale Elite Podcast. I'm Isham Hipster, joined by my dude, Mr. Tanner Santucci. What up, bro?
What's going on?
Guys, man, I'm living the dream. And here we are again, number 2, second time around, the baddie-preneur herself, Miss Eva Sazo. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. I am so excited to jump into what we're going to talk about today, because I think a lot of people are just scratching their head, or they want to understand this topic. You hear all about it. You hear about ChatGPT. You hear about, artificial intelligence, AI, but people are like, how do I use it? Like, what can I do with this thing? And I've been watching you, on social for a while now, and you're always ahead of the game. Like, you're always out there doing some stuff that we should be doing, but you're getting it done. And I know that you have acquired, an expertise in this. And so thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all that you've learned, recently. And I can't wait to learn more about WholeTek and everything else that you've got going on. So if you could just give the folks that maybe haven't seen or listened to the first episode, just a little bit of your background.
Yeah. So I've been wholesaling for, I think it's over 3 years now. I mean, at this point, I've stopped keeping track.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it started in the summer of 2020. And I've been doing really well. Last time we talked, I had, like 12 employees. I was open in 3 markets. I'm still open in those 3 markets. I still have all those employees. The only difference is we've 10x'd our business by implementing AI. And that's pretty much it. I do all on market. So, I'm always working with agents. I don't do any of the traditional stuff. That's what kind of made me different about last podcast.
You were the original agent outreach person. I remember that.
Yeah. OG. Well, I'm OG with Jamil, and then Ryan and I are like one of the first in his little community that were really doing a lot of heavy agent stuff.
For sure.
Ryan is an agent, so of course he is.
I just talked to him just a few days ago. His interview is going to be coming out. I'm not sure if it's before or after yours, but that was a great talk with one of the other OGs. And so, yes, I am so excited to dive into this. So yeah, everyone, I mean, go definitely, look at that episode and hear her story, because she drops some nuggets in there on just mindset and how to overcome some crazy adversity in life. To make no excuses, and to push forward. And so you're so far from that now, but it's just a good, lesson for a lot of people who may kind of be stuck, there. But let's get you unstuck, and let's get you guys learning about AI. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on now.
We're not far off from where we were last year. We're doing obviously a lot better, just in the same markets financially. We're having a little bit more consistency. That might be a little bit because of the market change, but I also think it has a lot to contribute to AI.
Sure.
We've implemented AI in our business to a point where it is doing the follow-up so much better than a human ever could. It's analyzing data so much better than a human ever could. It's really good at negotiating because, humans, sometimes when you're in this business, and I'm sure some people are going to relate to this, is like, you have this feeling on a deal, and it's like you're excited and you're nervous and you've got a little bit of anxiety about it, and you just want to agree to the price, right?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's get this deal sold.
Right.
Okay, sign the paper. Whereas the AI is just like,
Nope.
I don't give nothing about emotions. I'm going to get the price that I want. And so it doesn't have that. I don't want to say it's a bad thing, because we're human and we're supposed to have that, but it just doesn't have that emotional effect. So it
Sure.
isn't affected in that way. It can totally get things done, whereas humans, we're just like kind of tripping ourselves up, or we'll do something where we'll kick ourselves in the butt later, and the
Sure.
AI doesn't have that
Sure.
hold back.
Well, let me ask okay, so for me, like I have I'm probably like most people listening and watching with my understanding of AI and of, chat GPT and all the other different things that you can use. where where should one start when they're looking into learning about this stuff?
I mean, there's so much information on YouTube now that talks about AI, but just like with wholesaling, you watch all this YouTube stuff, right? And you get a little bit lost in the sauce. And it kind of depends on what you want to do with AI that will determine where you want to start. If you
Okay.
want AI to be implemented in your business, then you're probably going to look for a software that probably has it all done, because you're probably not going to go out of your way to learn everything about AI unless you're nerdy like me.
Sure.
If you're not super geeky like that and tech savvy, then you're probably going to want to find a company that's already doing something. If you just want to use AI to create social media content or write you emails, of course, ChatGPT, it's the GOAT in this industry.
Right.
But there's so many different programs out there nowadays that really you could find something if you type in artificial intelligence or something like that to help you. I would say that if you wanted to play with it, ChatGPT is free. So go on to ChatGPT and play with it. I use it today. It's not just like the AI that I use to negotiate the deals is one thing, and ChatGPT is another. And I use ChatGPT to help me with emails. So sometimes you get into a situation where an agent isn't performing or isn't following their code of ethics, or there's something inside of the contract that protects you in the deal, but you don't really know how to say it in the correct way. And that's where ChatGPT is really strong. Like, you can type out what you're thinking and those thoughts going through your head and how you're trying to put it together in an email to be professional and concise and follow along with the contract to help you defend your, argument.
Right.
And typing your thoughts like that into ChatGPT. So for example, you said, according to the contract, it says that we have a mediation period of 10 days or something like that. Like, can you please refer back, for Florida, it's the FAR bar. Can you refer to the FAR bar and use that in a response email to this agent stating our claim or whatever? It will write a nice, long, very professional email with statements from FAR bar that will really help you in your argument. And it also makes it very unemotional again. So when you send that email, you're having a much more professional conversation where the agent might just come back and go, oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. Instead of you typing out an emotional email that doesn't make much sense because you don't know how to say what you're trying to say, and then you and the agent are just back and forth arguing through email.
I see. Okay. Now, so outside of ChatGPT, to help you write words, write copy and content and whatnot, you're saying you're also using AI to help negotiate. How in the world does that work?
So that's way that, like, we're getting into a whole other realm of techiness, right? It's like, that's real nerdy stuff right there. But when you're not super nerdy, you go off and you find other people who created those kinds of systems, like I have. So we created WholeTek, and WholeTek is a CRM first, but that CRM comes with automations and AI integrations that help you process a deal flow through the correct. So it's going to be a deal with an agent, and it's going to go from when you upload the property through the entire negotiation process. Initially, when you upload the property, the system will do the math, the AI will do the math based on the parameters that you trained it on, because you have to train the AI.
Right.
And then it'll do the math and you will approve the math. And then at that point, it'll negotiate the deal for you. So it will send the offer email, and then it will send a kind of like a notification text to the agent saying, hey, Paul, we sent you an offer on 123 Apple Street. Let us know what you think. And then Paul will respond, right? And the bot will take over from there and say, hey, thanks for responding. Like, we sent our offer, but we have a couple questions. Is this property happen to be like a 1031 exchange? Does it have a tenant? Is it vacant? Will it be vacant at close? What year's the roof? What year's the AC? Like, all these different little data points it's gathering throughout the conversation. It's not like vomiting all that at once. It's
sure
slowly putting it in the conversation where it makes most sense.
Does it?
And so, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Does it note? Let's say, like, in, since these are on market, let's say in the listing, the agent will, say some of these things. Will the AI like pull that info out and not ask for those things?
If you input it through the notes, yes. However, right now there's not any program out there, and that's kind of something we're working on next. Privy, Batch Leads, none of them actually let you pull the notes like that.
Right.
So if you manually input the notes, it will for sure. But if no system will let you pull a CSV of those notes, it's not going to know.
I
see. Have to manually put it in. Yeah. It's more the other guys that are preventing us from doing that than us ourselves.
I see. And I would imagine that's probably not even an issue. Like, have you run into any issues like that with agents where it's like, I said it in the listing that it's, it's got a 5-year-old roof? Have you run into that?
So no, not really, but you will get agents that say, basically they'll tell you to look at the agent remarks in the MLS. But then the AI understands to respond back to them as, I'm not an agent, I'm an investor, so I don't have access to that kind of information. And so then the agent's like, oh yeah, well then, and then they just kind of word vomit, all the information onto you, because they realize, oh, you have no idea where that would be. You can't have access to that. Let me help you. Let me get your money. Let me.
Wow, that's wild. Okay,
That's awesome.
So WholeTek, I cannot wait to look more into this. So for like Tanner and I, we're in the land space. Is it mostly just for properties, or could it help with land as well?
So the AI is, and this is what I explain to people a lot, like on TikTok and stuff like that, because they ask similar questions, right? Can it do direct to seller? Can it do creative finance? And the answer is, yeah, it can do all of it, because the AI is a brain, and it's not like a copy and paste type scenario where like, if this, then that kind of thing. Literally, there's no workflows in the background. It's just a prompt that's basically like the directions and the rules for the AI. And then as time goes on, you can create Q&A based scenarios to teach it how to better respond to things. So for example, one time the AI understood and knew that we had an address, but that address was like a PO box mailing address. So when they provided that address to the agent said, well, this is just a mailing address. I want like a physical address, and kept hounding the AI for a physical address. Well, we never taught the AI that we had a physical address, because we don't have an address for anyone to come to. So the AI pulled an address from our market, which was in Vegas, and gave it to the agent. Now that address was actually to a dental office.
Nice.
It had nothing to do with us, and I had to go back and fix that.
Bad AI.
With one, the agent, and then two, the AI, and I had to tell the AI, what is your address? And then I had to teach the AI to respond similar to, we don't have a physical address for you to come to, because we're virtually in several different states, but we do have somewhere you can mail something to. And if you need to meet somebody, we can arrange for something for that to happen or whatever.
I see.
We had to, train it based on a Q&A. And then I had to go tell the agent, like, oops, sorry.
Man. Okay.
That was not right.
So WholeTek, let's talk a little bit more about that. Because, you're an entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
like most entrepreneurs, you create something because of a need in the marketplace. It's not like you just saw these dollar signs and you're like, oh, I'm going to get rich doing this. Typically, you build something for yourself and then you realize, wait a minute, other people can use this. What was the story? But take us a little bit into the story, into how WholeTek, came about.
So WholeTek's been on this journey with me since the beginning, basically. And it's evolved as I've evolved, and it's evolved as technology has evolved. WholeTek originally was several different programs. That was one giant hot mess. It was like Airtable and different funnels and different forms and just different SMS programs and email blasting programs, they were just everywhere, and you were just like clicking in and out of different programs. It probably was like 9 of them combined. So it was a hot mess. But that was WholeTek up until about March of this year.
Oh, wow.
And about March of this year is when we were able to consolidate it all into one system and then amplify its abilities through AI, connect AI to it, connect it to OpenAI, connect it to ChatGPT-4, and so that it could not only be a CRM system and a calculator and everything else that it is, but it also could replace our acquisition managers and negotiate our deals for us. So
I see.
Yeah.
I know you sent over a presentation, and I definitely look forward to looking into that. What does that presentation cover? Does it kind of just show you the not the behind the scenes, but does it show you how that program works?
It gives you an idea of how it works. Yeah. So we actually show that presentation or similar options of that presentation every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you go to my TikTok, you can go to my little link in bio and sign up to see the presentation, and it'll tell you when our next one is. But that presentation kind of talks a little bit about some of the things we've talked about here, about how I use ChatGPT, and then also how I've taken AI to the next level and use WholeTek. And it kind of shows you how we do the drag and drop scenario, get the program, the green light to go, and how it negotiates. And then it's got some views of conversations that the AI has had and how it's negotiated on a deal. And then it shows some results. So for example, in the first 30 days, we separated him. I say him, but his name is Techie. So WholeTek is the company, Techie is the bot.
Nice.
So Techie, we separated him from the rest of the company. And for 30 days, he was on his own with 50 properties, and he closed 3 of those and making us about 30,000 extra. So that is kind of what the whole presentation is about. It shows you how that happened, and it breaks it down and gives you visuals so that you can see what it really looks like.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Awesome. I'm so ready to look into this. That's crazy. Look, so we're definitely going to come back to WholeTek, but I want to talk to you about your books, because I know you've written some books as well.
I have, yeah.
I don't want this to just be like a promotion fest. This isn't it, guys. Like, we don't talk for that long before the podcast, and so this is just like a catching up. So talk to us about the books. I want to know about these.
I mean, you can see this one back here. That one is a book I wrote about my pig. So that was the first book I ever wrote. It's a children's book. It's about her traveling the world and eating a bunch of vegetables in different places.
Nice.
It belongs to my nonprofit, and anytime you buy the book, the proceeds go into a savings account for my cousin's daughter. My cousin was killed in an accident. She was in a car accident about 2 years ago, and she left behind her little girl. And we created a foundation for her in her name, and the entire foundation is owned by her daughter, Eva. And then all the proceeds go into her savings account, which builds interest. It's kind of like an IRA. And so when she turns 21, she'll probably have like $120,000 in there.
Awesome.
She'll have make sure she has a financial advisor to
for sure
guide her in the right way with what she wants to do with that. But yeah, so that's my first book. And then
what's it called?
It's called Winnie the Pig Travels the World.
Winnie the Pig.
I love Winnie the Pig travels the world.
Where could I get that book at? Because I definitely want to buy that.
It's on Amazon. So just type in Winnie the Pig travels the world. It's on Amazon. She's literally like in a plane and she goes to Mexico and she eats veggie tacos. It's like little stories like that. And then she goes home and she goes to bed after all her travels. She has a big day.
Knowing you, this book is like based on real stories. It has to be.
It's a little bit. So obviously I have a pig. Her name is Winnie. And then she traveled in the RV with us when we traveled, for about 11 months. We went to 15 different states, saw about 42 different cities. So
that's awesome.
She traveled all over the U.S. This is just her traveling around the country now.
Dang. Tanner, you got to step your game up, man. Winnie the Pig's done more traveling than you, bro.
Fact, dude. I'm a homebody. So.
Yeah, same. Now that I have a house, I don't ever leave. I have that damn expensive ass car, and I was just thinking the other day, I pay for this car. I love this car. It's my dream car. But I only spend like $50 in gas like once every 2 weeks because I go so rarely anywhere.
That's so funny.
I wish I was only spending $50 of gas in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like $50 a day in my truck.
Oh, well, you got a truck. Then you got a gas guzzler over there.
I do, unfortunately.
What's the other book?
The other book is about wholesaling, and it talks about all the stuff that I use. AI is mentioned in there. WholeTek is mentioned in there, and basically goes over my 6-step process and how we launch into a new market, or how we are able to launch into a market and 90 days later, hand it off to the employees. And if we want to go and launch it to another market, or it's already producing 30 to 50K in that 90-day period with employees running it instead of you running it.
Wow. What's the name of that book? We definitely need to get that out.
That book is called On Market Secrets.
On Market Secrets. Okay, we're definitely going to link all this stuff up. And we won't use an
It's also on Amazon, but that one, so right now, that one releases September 15th.
Perfect. Can we pre-order?
You can buy the unedited version.
Ooh, I like that. All right.
So although the non-extended version is on Amazon right now, but the fully edited and extended version goes up September 15th.
September 15th. Okay, cool. We'll air this a little closer to that date just to help that out. That'd be awesome. All right. On Market Secrets. So 6 steps to launch in a new market in 90 days and be crushing it. That's awesome. Now, did you use ChatGPT at all to help with these books?
With Winnie, no, that was all just me. I mean, it's like 2 sentences per page.
Yeah, it's a kid's book. Yeah, pictures.
It's a kid's book. But with On Market Secrets, yeah. So I actually have another book that's about wholesaling, but it was literally like me just playing with ChatGPT to see if it could write a book. And I've never like released it or anything, but it was like the trial run before we did On Market Secrets. So then I started writing On Market Secrets, and anytime I got stuck, I would take like the last 2 or 3 paragraphs that I had, and then I'd put it into ChatGPT and I'd tell it, please help me elaborate on this in my tone. And so then it would start writing more in my tone, and it would add more. And I'd have to go in there and correct it and fix it a little bit based on like WholeTek stuff, because it had no idea what WholeTek was. So I had to like educate it on that. But for the most part, it helped me elaborate more on the book. Otherwise, we'd probably have a book that's like 40 pages.
I see. I keep hearing about prompts. Like prompts are really important to, I guess, understand. How important are prompts? Like, are we at an age now where where you don't have to be so specific in your prompting? I feel like an old person like trying to explain the internet.
No, so prompts are like super duper crucial. So imagine we're looking at a stick figure, right? And it's just a blank stick figure. He's not cool at all. He's got nothing going on. But we want to put some Nikes on our stick figure. And maybe he's wearing a Speedo and a baseball cap. I don't know. We're just going to give him some things, right? But we have to dress him up and turn him into a character. And that's what prompting is. You're dressing up and turning your AI into a character so that it will give you better responses. Because without the prompts, it's going to give you something that's very generic and probably doesn't match exactly what you're looking for. With the prompt, it's better. So a bad prompt would be like, write me an SMS to an agent. That's a terrible prompt. If you wanted a better prompt, you would say, write me a 140 character SMS message to an agent in response to their rejection of my offer. That is a much better response. An even better response is, you are the world's best negotiator. Write me a 140 character SMS message to an agent who has rejected my offer of blank, and they came back with, blank.
Right. Wow.
And the property has blank, blank, and blank wrong with it. It's going to create a much, much better answer for you that's more direct and gets you to where you want to go, as opposed to the very beginning one that says, write me an SMS to an agent. That's not getting you anywhere.
That's powerful. And you can tell it, you are the world's best negotiator. So it's almost sentient.
Yeah, you're dressing it. It's like I was saying, the stick figure. We've got a blank stick figure. The stick figure that you said, write me an SMS to an agent, that's the blank guy. He's got nothing going on. But when you say, you're the world's best negotiator, trained by whoever, right? That's when you put your Nike shoes on and your Speedo and your baseball cap.
Oh, dude. Wow. So trained by Chris Voss or something. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to play with this now. This sounds fun.
You're going to be addicted once you do.
Yeah, I was about to say ChatGPT, like honestly, it's became an addiction, because it's like what you're saying with the prompts. Even though ChatGPT isn't the best AI out there, it's for free. I mean, it's the best resource I think any business owner can have, because like you were talking about with the prompts, you dress it up. I've noticed that when I've played with it, I started to input like super vague, prompts to ask what to do. And then I'll just simply start asking more and more. And then the responses, it's just like, and then like you can say, I want 50 response, like that SMS example you gave. Instead of just saying, hey, give me one response of 140 characters, counter offer this, whatever, you can say, give me 50 responses to this. And then you can go in and pick which ones you want to use. Like, that's the cool part about it.
Yeah. And then with ChatGPT, you get a thread for each conversation that you start. And the AI just learns more and more as you're building that thread. So I have a thread that I created. So first, I have AI that breaks it. Like if you go onto my TikTok and watch my videos, you'll notice that I just have random little 30-second videos, all from my TikTok lives. Like I literally don't make any content. I just chop up all my TikTok lives and reuse them.
Smart.
So that we can work smarter, not harder here.
Right.
Because I'll be on TikTok live for 2 hours. So we chop all that up. We make 30 videos out of it or more. And out of those 30 videos, it gives me a transcript. So I grab the transcript and I put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT instantly starts to understand who I am, what my tone is, how I talk, what I teach. And so I've done that so many times and said, create a 2,200 character description for this TikTok video, right? So I've built that over months. Now I use that same thread and I say, create me 5 30-minute trainings to go on TikTok live about based on the information above. It knows what I train. It knows what I talk about because of all the information above. And it creates me 5 different, okay, go on TikTok and talk about how to find buyers using a reverse method. I didn't have to tell it any of that. All I had to say was create me 5 trainings based on the information above. And it just looked at everything above and was like, all right, do all this, that. It created me a bunch of trainings. That was today.
Unreal.
Today I was lazy. Help me.
When it spits out the training, is it just giving you bullet pointed topics, or how does that work?
It depends on it depends, because sometimes it'll go super in depth without you asking it. And sometimes you have to ask it and it'll go super in depth. So if I was create me a 30-minute training that I could do on TikTok live, one subject, but needs to have 5 points, it'll build all that out for me. And then I'll say, and it needs to have a homework assignment, and it'll create me a homework assignment for the students too.
Oh my gosh. My mind is blown.
It's so dope. It's so cool.
So dope.
Yeah. My mind's blown. There's a software that I use for the podcast called Podium, I think it is. And I upload the audio. It's pretty wild. I upload the audio after I edit it, and it spits out a ton of different topic names, names of the podcast. And then it gives me 4 different versions of show notes. It times out everything, timestamps everything. It's unreal. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm like, this is wild.
So Opus Clip is what I use to take the 2-hour TikToks, and it cuts it up. I think you get to do like 2 or 3 hours for free and then you pay for it, but I only pay like $100 a month and I get like 20 hours of chopped up content, and that will last me at least like 2 months, probably a month. I mean, we post 5 times a day right now, so it lasts us 5 times 30.
Wow. Is TikTok your main platform?
Yeah.
Do you also carry over stuff over to YouTube at all, or are you mainly on TikTok?
So that's happened in the last 30 days, right? So I don't need as many employees to run my business because I have the AI. So I don't want to let anyone go, but so I just diversified them. I said, okay, start doing this. So like over the last 30 days, they've been like, we got 5 posts a day going on TikTok. We just started last week YouTube Shorts. They're moving the information over there. They started posting on my IG Reels. Like I never did anything on IG. I was just always like, text me on IG because I'll respond faster. Don't text me on TikTok because I don't understand how the messaging platform works there.
Right. Yeah.
Weird. It's all jumbled together. But yeah, so like we're spreading myself out as much as we can now. Yeah.
Right on. Well, okay. So let's go back to WholeTek because I'm fascinated by this. You've told your story about kind of why, or how it came about, I should say. Let's talk a little bit about, I know you said it can do, it's like, it's a brain and it can do anything, but who is this software specifically built for?
It's specifically for wholesalers who want to do agents. So if they want to do on market, if they want to work with agent outreach, that's who we're mainly for right now, because I don't believe in mass blasting. I don't believe in mass blasting random agents either. I believe in going direct to the hot deals. So we teach you to mainly focus on the real estate agents who already have the listings that you want. And so you're not mass blasting, which goes against all the A2PD, whatever laws they got going on now, right? Because you can't mass blast sellers anymore. Come August 31st, you're going to be blocked.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wrap. So like you have to go and get certified, or you have to be trusted, go to the trust center and get like the thumbs up that you can do things. But that means all your messages are going to get pushed out with like a stop if you want to unsubscribe kind of thing. So we understand that the spamming isn't going to happen anymore, which honestly, nobody saw that lasting for a long time anyway. It's just too much. So it's like, we want you to build genuine connections, and we want you to go after quality leads, real leads, not just randomly blasting an agent who probably doesn't even practice. They do hair or something else. And they just happen to have a license because maybe they bought a house or their sister bought a house, and then they never did anything else with it. Right. So it's like, why are you calling up that person? There's no point. You got to call the people who have the hot listings. So you do small mass text message blasting. So people who are interested in using AI to negotiate their deals and working with agents, working smarter, not harder, like this is for them. We will be expanding into like sub 2 and stuff like that, but we're not looking to have anyone who like doesn't care what they're doing and like mass blast a bunch of people and be spammy like that. Because honestly, that's not a long-term business plan, guys.
For sure. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And I'm glad that you're thinking long-term with this product. And so it seems like, I know there's other softwares out there that do, they're more for, I say agent outreach in terms of, talking to a bunch of agents to get them to send you deals. And so that's more of a mass blasting thing. Whereas you're kind of going at a sniper approach where you find the deals, you feed it to this software, and this software just takes it to the finish line.
Yep. So it will go and make the offers. Let's say the agent says no, it will put it in a rejected folder, but that doesn't mean it is the AI knows not to take no as an answer. So that's not the end of the game. The AI is like, okay, well then I'll follow up with you once a week for 7 weeks, and it'll follow up constantly. Now, like, let's say this agent stops answering us after 3 to 5 days, the AI will send us like an SOS text message that says like, hey, Agent Bob won't respond about property Apple Street. We're requesting a manual call. So like,
sick.
The AI just is like, he's crazy. It's a full-on acquisitions manager. It really is.
That's wild. Techie's doing his thing.
He's so cool.
Man, all right. God, Tanner, what do you got, man? I'm like, my brain is melting over here. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities of how we can work with you outside of this on our land business, because I mean, how you're approaching this is how we approach land. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
We're unique in that way, where we don't do the spray and pray method at all. We're very targeted. But we
I love that,
these
spray and
humans.
pray.
Yeah.
That's literally it, though. You are spraying it. And as coming from a marketing background, it's like telling my marketing clients, like, don't just post and pray. We're not posting and praying. Same thing with wholesale. We're not spraying and praying. Like, it's just, you might get something great out of that, but it's just going to take a lot of money and a lot of time. And I'm about quick results. I need that money to say.
And piss off a lot of people. You know?
Yeah, you do. and then they're like, I hate wholesalers, and you wonder why. And they honestly have no idea what wholesalers are really like. They just have this idea that we just mass blast them and we're spammy or whatever, just because of whatever program allowed people to do it.
True. Just so true. Well, so I don't want to, belabor the point. I will probably keep this episode fairly concise. I do want to ask, like, how can people find out more about WholeTek?
Yeah, they can go to beta.wholetek.io. That's our main website. It will tell you everything that we offer there. You can also watch a demo there. You can follow me on TikTok. I'm talking about it all the time. You can go to TikTok and click the link in my bio, and it'll take you to where you can register for one of our live webinars where I talk about it and how I use the strategy of going direct to agent and to those hot leads, and then how I use AI to pretty much do the dirty work that I don't want to do.
No, for real. No, I know a lot of these softwares, especially in the real estate world, they're a little pricey. Would you say that you're one of the pricier ones as well? Are you a little more affordable, or?
So we are on the little higher end side, but that's because we have a patent pending for this AI. So we are exclusive, and
awesome.
Anyone who tries to copy us later on will get they'll have to start paying me.
Yeah, for sure. And because it's done through AI that has, unique feedback, it's not like it's getting the same messages to the same
Never.
or to different agents.
Yeah.
Right? Completely unique conversation.
Yeah, always unique. It goes around the same, it builds around the same Q&As, right? So like you have that Q&A panel to teach the AI, like if they ask what our address is, we tell them that we don't have an address, blah, blah, blah. It will build around that answer, but it's never word for word the same. It's not like a copy and paste. It's not like an if this, then that, post this. It says, okay, they told us that we don't have an address, but if we wanted to book an appointment, and it'll do it corresponding to the message. So let's say they said, what's your office? I'd like to meet up. He wouldn't say the same thing as we don't have an office. He would say something more like, we can schedule a meetup, but we don't have an office for you to attend, as we do most of our work virtual.
Smart. Okay.
He'll change it around a little bit to really hone in on what they're actually asking.
I see. Now, I obviously we're no tech wizards or anything, and we're probably not even asking that good of questions. What's the question that? Oh, we are. Okay, good. What's the question that either you get asked the most that you like answering, or the question that we didn't ask that people probably should know?
I mean, you guys ask pretty good questions. They're pretty much the same questions that everybody else asks, except for I think it's more that people are always in disbelief. That they're always like, it can really do that. And I'm like, yeah, it can do that. It's a brain. And they're like, but how does it do this or that? Or how does it respond to this? And I'm like, it's a brain. It's like having a human. Just imagine a human's there, because that's what it is. And people have a hard time believing that. They always are like, I can negotiate the deal. Like, what if the agent says this? I'm like, well, he'll either have a rebuttal, or because if he doesn't have anything to go off of, he will halt, not answer, and then send you an SOS because he's like, oh shit.
Right. Help.
Oh, I'm down.
Okay, if you're a senior person or you're just not tech savvy at all, can you still benefit from this?
Yeah, it's super anti tech savvy. So I'm the tech savvy person, right? But I'm so I always like to quote like the book titles of wholesaling for dummies or whatever, but I always feel like that's mean. So it's not for dummies. Nobody's a dummy, but it's that easy. So I basically created it for like AI, wholesaling with AI for dummies kind of thing. It's supposed to be so easy that a monkey could probably do it. I know everybody says that, but I feel like that's what we go by. Right?
At least you didn't say caveman, because I think that's trademark.
A caveman can do it.
It's patented. Okay, so TikTok, for anyone who is not watching, you are at Baddipreneur on TikTok, I'm assuming?
Yeah, at Baddipreneur. Awesome. I'm at Baddipreneur on everything.
On everything. And then WholeTek, beta.wholetek is whole, WHOLETEK.io.
TEK, yeah.
Yeah. Beta.wholetek.io. That's beautiful. And then eventually, I'm assuming at some point the beta is going to be dropped, and then people will just be able to go to wholetek.io, and that'll be it. Up and running.
Once we're out of beta, so technically we are still in beta right now because we just launched in March. Basically, it took me from March to May to take all those 9 programs and put them into one, and then add AI to it.
I see.
And then since May, we've been trying to master everything we can with it. Any kinks, we've been trying to work those out. So that's pretty much done. I haven't had anyone come up with anything else except for like people just want to add crazy shit now.
Right. Yeah.
People are like, can we make it do this? And of course, I'm the entrepreneur who's like, well, let's see.
Can it make me a recipe? Yeah.
Right. Can we do this? Someone asked today, they were like, can we make its own notes? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is just how you do that. And so then I put that feature on for everybody. But now it's just people are like, can we do this? Can we do that? So during beta, we do have like a lifetime option for everybody. But after beta, when it turns into wholetek.io, it will be $1,997 to set up your AI. And then it's $297 a month to maintain the system.
Dang. All right. So y'all heard it here first. Like, jump on that. I cannot wait to watch this thing unfold, Eva. Like, this is you're such a badass. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yes. Thanks. Oh man. To be in your circle, we are blessed. So look, guys, go out there and look into this stuff. Like, buy it, subscribe, do whatever you have to do, because like I know, and she gives her all into anything she does, and she does it the right way with a lot of future foresight into it. And so this is incredible, and I can't wait to look into it myself. Eva, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been fun. I want to see the pig. Next time you got to hold the pig up. Like,
yeah, right. She's like 100 pounds.
Winnie needs to be a star on here.
Yeah, she's a dense little thing. Good.
She's 100 pounds. I thought she was.
Yeah, you can see her on like some of my. So she was tiny when she was a baby.
Okay.
Those mini pigs. Just public service announcement. Everybody, when you see those teacup pigs, there's no such thing. A mini pig is truly about 75 to 150 pounds, and then you go pot belly is like 150 to 300. Then you go farm pigs are fucking like 700 pounds.
Let's go.
But she used to be like this tiny, and now she's just, I can't even pick her up. No, just like, yeah, if it floods here in Florida, girl, you better learn to swim.
Just stick some floaties on her. That's hilarious.
Stick some floaties on her little stump legs.
Well, thank you again. I can't wait to have you come back on here and talk about the success of all that WholeTek has happened. And I want to hear. I really want to hear about the success of the book. For you said it was for your niece, right?
Yeah, but that's been out for about 2 years now. So that book's doing pretty good. It sells a couple dozen copies, I think, a month.
Nice.
And that's just random. I don't really promote that all that often. I do in like my tiny little inner family circle.
Sure.
I know that there's a lot of people who like to buy it because it's only like $5. you buy a couple copies. Like I have a couple copies sitting there now because I just bought them to pass out to the schools and stuff. I leave them at the grocery stores, the doctor's office.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bulk of them and do that. That makes sense. Okay. Hey, it's the least we can do. Look, guys, we always say on these podcasts that we want to talk to you next, and I mean it. I really do. You got to go out there. You got to make things happen. Go out, crush it, get it done, so that we can interview you to tell your story on the next episode of the Wholesale Elite. Until then, Eva, thank you so much. We'll see you guys around.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
What up, Elite fan? That's a wrap for today's episode. But look, if you got value out of the show today, do us a huge favor and give us a review or give us a like or subscribe. Do all the things to help us get the word out there. And look, we want to see you on the next show. So get out there and crush it, make it happen. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.